On this week's Grey's Anatomy, what had begun as a calm night shift turned into one filled with unforeseen catastrophes and flashbacks. Distinct medical stories doctors were featured in the episode: Joe and a pregnant widow, Simone and a patient with an unexpected link to her. We also found out where Amelia is taking her sabbatical. The pair was talking about how Joe had talked to his mother about christening the twins, which surprised Link. Joe was called back to see how a new patient who didn't like Dr. Marcus was doing before they could enter it or leave the hospital for the night. Even though the baby was breech, the mom-to-be insisted on an unmedicated vaginal birth, and she wasn't the only obstinate person upsetting Joe. Joe's support for baptism was simply beyond Link's comprehension. She told him that despite not attending church, she believes in God and wants her children to be part of a spiritual community. But because he doesn't believe in religion, Link was unable to understand it. Joe, frustrated with both her husband and her patient, questioned him about the true nature of the situation. Link acknowledged that church groups came to see him and the other children in the cancer ward, believing that God was keeping an eye on them. However, how could that be if God was allowing them to suffer? And Link questioned, where is God in light of the status of the world today? Following a breakthrough with her patient, who disclosed that her husband had passed away 3 months prior, Joe informed Link that she found solace in praying for him following the explosion. Both of them were so tired that they decided to put the baptism conversation on hold for the time being, which is fortunate because they have more pressing concerns. For example, Joe said, "I think my water just broke," as they were finally leaving the hospital. Additionally, it may be too early for Joe to give delivery, given that she is 30 weeks pregnant. Simone saw her mother in one of the pictures she was posting at her patient's request. It turned out that her patient, Regina, had been Simone's mother's best friend from infancy till maturity. She was full of amusing tales about Simone's mother's crazy days spent partying and sneaking around. At last, Simone got to know her true self instead of the rigid imitation of her mother that her father had instilled in her. Regina encouraged Simone to give me your guilt, and you go and live life to the fullest, as her mother would have desired, after Simone revealed that she and her sister Ebony aren't close because Ebony holds Simone responsible for their mother's passing. It was almost a given that Regina would not survive the night after hearing those comments. After Regina coded, Simone repeatedly startled her because she didn't want to let go of this bond with her mother, but Weber explained that it was just her time. Simone graciously declined Lucas's offer of a ride home and called her grandma to reminisce. Lucas also stated that Amelia is in Boston, most likely with Meredith. Thank you for watching.